Alright, so I will be showing you guys how to make French toast based on my mom's personal recipe. This is the recipe that I ate growing up all the time. This was my favorite breakfast in the world, so I wanted to take the time to show you guys how I make it, and so let's just get right into it. So I have got everything laid out here, including our pan, our bowl, our plate, and of course our fork and knife so we can eat. But starting with our ingredients, we've got milk. I use whole milk, any milk is fine, eggs, bread, and then for later I've got butter, syrup, and powdered sugar. Now powdered sugar is optional, but it is possibly my favorite part of French toast. Alright, so first things first, we've got to turn on our stove, get our pan heating up. So I've already got the pan on the stove here. I am gonna turn this on medium-high heat. I usually put it on my stove somewhere between 6 and 7. I know that everything's different. So just anything medium-high, it's definitely a trial and error type thing. But after that, we will start getting into the actual process of making our egg mixture, which is probably one of the most important parts of making French toast. Alright, so the mixture that I use is 1 egg for every 2 pieces of French toast that you want to make. So I'm going to make 4 pieces today, so I'm going to use 2 eggs. So you just want to grab those out, crack them right into your bowl. So really, there's no good measurement for the milk, sadly. It is however much your heart desires, but I usually do a splash. A splash is good. And then you're just gonna take your fork, and what you're gonna do is take that, whisk together the milk and the eggs. Alright, so now that our egg mix is all mixed up, we are gonna take the bread, which I have here. I have 4 slices of bread. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna take each piece of bread, dip it down into the egg mixture, make sure to get both sides, and then you're gonna flop it over here onto your pan. Now this is definitely one that you wanna do kind of fast because you wanna make sure some don't cook way too fast than the last one. So just do your best, try and make sure everything gets coated. No matter what, you're still gonna have a delicious thing at the end. So it's really hard to mess up. So we are just going to dip our egg, bread and egg here, take it on over to the pan. Here's one. Now comes the cinnamon sugar. So I have my cinnamon sugar in a pre-mixed little shaker here, but you can totally throw them on one at a time, whatever is easiest. So I just take a little bit, sprinkle it right over top of these guys. Now that the cinnamon sugar's on, we are gonna wait until the edges here, the egg on the bottom will start to get crispy, and that's how we will know it's time to check them. And then whenever that starts to happen, I usually just take my spatula here and flip them up, see how done they are. You can always lay them back down, but then whenever they're ready and it's done as you want them to be, just take them, flip them, and they will be ready to go on the next side. I like a nice golden brown on mine, so I am gonna go ahead and check these, and it looks like they are good to flip. Just pick each one up, flip it right on over. The trick is to get your spatula under them real fast. That'll help them not stick. And then let these guys go on this side, and do the same thing over again. So I've checked these one more time and they look ready to go. So when they are ready, you just take them and bring them right on over to your plate. And put them down, and then we will start to get them all dressed up and ready to eat. Now we are in the final stretch. It is time to dress these bad boys up. So my favorite way to dress them up, and the way I always have ever since I was a kid, is butter, lots of butter, always lots of butter. And your syrup, not too much syrup, it gets everything soggy. And then the best part best part of the whole thing is I've got my little container powdered sugar here, and we are just gonna sprinkle that right on top. Let's get one more. All right. And now I've got my fork, and we are ready to eat. Thank you guys so much for taking a minute and watching me. Feel free to take this and do anything you want to it. This is super basic, super simple. Definitely something that you can make really quick late night, first thing in the morning. But thank you so much for taking the time to give me a listen.